Hey y'all, happy Friday. I am posted up in my gray on gray sweats and my purple scrunchie, and I'm ready to self-love the fuck out of myself this weekend and rest up because I'm super tired, and it's also a full moon on Sunday, so y'all know that symptoms are flaring right now. So anyways, I wanted to do a vlog about support because I think that it's something that is like super overlooked and downplayed. I think that's like the right word for it, but I feel like a lot of people don't realize how crucial support is for somebody that is not even just chronically sick, but just sick. I feel like people don't realize like how helpful it is and how much it can really help somebody by, like you don't need to like show up or like be up someone's ass 24/7, but just like saying hi, checking in, whatever, like it goes a long way. Serious. So the other day my brother came to visit and he showed up with flowers and this little letter for me, and I was so blown away and so shocked. I knew that my brother supported me, but the fact that he like went out of his way to just get me flowers, knowing how much I love flowers, and taking the time to write this for me. Now, let me just tell you, my brother has like never written a paper before, and he's going to be 22 in July. He works full time at a car place as a mechanic. Yeah. But I always wrote his papers for him growing up, or my mom, really me. So to have him write this letter for me is just huge, and I really wanted to share it with you guys. So it's called The Best of the Best, and I've already read it a couple times, so I wouldn't cry reading it now to you guys. But here memories all roll into my brain, coming and going in an instant with more and more memories. As kids, my sister and I were just like any other brother and sister. We would get into fights, but we would also have good times together. Sometimes I still get mad at myself for the things I did in the past and for all those fights we had. I just hope that for all those bad times, I have been forgiven. Duh. In life, you can't always get caught up on all the bad times. You have to move forward and focus on the present and the future. But past all the bad moments, there are always good ones. My sister was and still is always the most loving and caring person in the whole world. No matter what, after all those fights we had, we always still loved each other and forgave. Sometimes my mom would be working her late night jobs on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and there was times she wouldn't be able to prep her dinner for us here or there, but that was okay because I had my sister there and she would always step in and make me dinner. She would make sure I always had a full stomach. Whether it was just an original meal or something new she made up, it was good. Then occasionally she would make desserts, and they were always bomb, and milkshakes because she knew I loved them. She would always take care of me growing up, and I appreciate having her as a sister. She is the best a brother could ask for. No, I did not pay him to write this, by the way. Okay, I can never forget that when we would be going to bed, she would read books to me until I fell asleep from across the hall. She would be reading the book, yelling the words just so I could hear her. Surprisingly, she would still wake up the next day with a clear voice. Even when we were in trouble and we would get sent to our own rooms, we would still bond. We would sit at our door, still in our rooms, and play board games or do something together. So basically, you could say we were still following the rules. Many years later, she got her license and we were able to go on adventures. We would always have the best jam sesh in the car going places. The one time I can remember the most is driving up to the campground, jamming to the song Molly with the windows down and music cranked up loud. We always knew how to put a smile on each other's faces and cheer each other up. There once was a serious time when I crashed my quad into a tree because you know who needs brakes? Tommy. My father and her drove me to the ER. I remember I kept coming in and out on the ride there and in the hospital, but every time I woke up, she was there and knew how to put a smile on my face. We always knew how to put a smile on each other's faces and cheer each other up. My sister is truly the best and most caring person out in this world, and I could never say that enough. I will always be in debt to my sister for all the things she has done for me and being there for me when I needed her. That's just what family is, and I'm so grateful for her being in mine. After a few years passing, my sister was always getting headaches and going to the doctors, but no one was able to diagnose her. She was still being so strong, dealing with pain and headaches for over 6 years. Then she was finally diagnosed with her Lyme disease. Now, because no one was able to realize what she had so early on, she has it a lot worse than some others. She has had a PICC line in her arm for 4 years now. She has the definition of a rough life every day. She wakes up not knowing what her day will be like, not knowing if she's going to get sleep that night or be able to get up and move around. The pain she tolerates every day makes me look up to her and wish I was as strong as her. She is the strongest person I know. Lyme disease is defined as an inflammatory disease. First comes a rash, headaches, fever, and chills. Then later it can get more serious and have neurological and/or cardiac disorders. All of this is caused by the bacteria and a tick bite. Primarily just deer ticks carry the bacteria that causes Lyme disease, but in order for the tick to transfer the bacteria, it would have to be attached to your skin for 24 to 48 hours. Usually, if Lyme disease gets spotted early on, it can be treated with just some medications. But because it was not spotted early on, she had to get a PICC line. A PICC line is an IV. It starts in her arm where she is able to connect medicine to it, and then the medicine gets taken into her vein and goes to her heart to help pump it throughout her body. This is a more efficient way to treat the Lyme disease when it has been in your bloodstream for such a long time. The reasons why a PICC line is good to use is because the risk of an infection is very low and you can care for it at home. Although a PICC line is being used to treat her disease, it can also cause problems. Having a PICC line, you have a higher risk of getting blood clots. Moose, come here. This has not only affected her physically, but it also has mentally. This messes with her brain and makes it hard for her to remember things sometimes, and it will put a huge amount of pressure on her emotions. Yet she is still getting up every day and doing what she can. Lyme disease has caused her to miss out on a lot of things in life, and it hurts me to see that, but yet she is always cheerful, happy, and loving. This disease has limited her from being able to finish nursing school and to also have an everyday job just like everyone else. She still manages to work with one of her doctors, helping them out with being organized in the office when she can, and she also still babysits for people when she can. This is her proving to everyone how strong she is and how impossible it is to knock her down. Now, what would this story be like if I didn't talk about her dog, Moose? Trust me, you are picturing this a big dog with the name Moose, but he is just a little lap dog with a huge brain for smarts and a big heart for love. Moose is not like any other dog out there. He is practically her child, but he is still her service dog. He listens to everything she says and is so well trained. He is trained by the best, his owner, my sister. Whenever she needs that extra love or attention, he is there for her. He makes her a little more active, and I also think he plays a huge part in keeping her so strong. This dog has such a huge impact on her life and helps her so much. Although she has a PICC line in her arm, that has not stopped her from still being loving and caring. Every time I go over to see her, she is always wanting to feed me and make sure I am full and happy. She still will go outside and do what she can with Moose and I. We have been laxing it up in the field before playing catch, going on the paddle boat, and many other things. She will always be willing to make other people happy and do things just to bring them cheer. Just because now she is set with limits, she will still push them to go have fun and set the bar higher and higher. Every chance that I get, I try my best to make time for her and go hang out with her to cheer her up. But what she doesn't know is whenever I am there thinking I am cheering her up, she is really the one cheering me up. Every day she goes throughout her life being the strongest she can be, and I look up to her for that. Now, I cried like the biggest baby reading this the first time because, like, who wouldn't? Number one, like, I just still can't believe that he wrote that for me. So I just wanted to share that with you guys because I wanted to show you how grateful I am for the support that I have from my brother. And I had no idea that he was going to do something like that I even had that in him, but it couldn't have come at a better time. I was dealing with a lot of pain when he dropped that off, and I was really just down and in the dumps, and to have him show up at the house with that letter was just huge because it's like, it's something that means so much, and it is just something little, I guess, but it's gotten me to today, and I'm just so crazy thankful for. I think that a lot of people don't realize how important support is, because having an illness or any kind of sickness, whatever, it's super isolating because obviously you're not going out like you used to. You lose a lot of touch with your friends, and unfortunately you also lose a lot of friends because obviously you're not out with them and stuff as much as you used to be because you're limited. But support doesn't always come from the areas where you expect it, but when you do get it, you are so, so, so grateful. And I feel like I couldn't ever put words or actions to how grateful I am to the supporters that I do have, because it makes up for all of those that you wish were there for you, I guess. But it also just keeps you pushing and it keeps you strong. And so if I were to give a friend advice on like how to support somebody with a chronic illness, obviously people are busy and we all move on with our lives. So if you're not able to like stop by and visit somebody, or even like take them out to go get a bite to eat or something, send them a message and say, hey, thinking of you. Or honestly, even just to like comment or like somebody's photo or subscribe to somebody's vlog, for example, is huge. Like knowing that you have somebody out there that is cheering you on and showing you that love from far away means so much more than like I could ever say. It truly, like for me personally, keeps me going and keeps me strong and fighting on and everything when like there's those tough days that I want to give up. I am so thankful for. Anywho, thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to me ramble and talk about my brother and share his little story to y'all. And maybe you learned a little bit more about me too. But yeah, thank you for listening, and thank you for watching and supporting me, because I'm so thankful. If I haven't already said that like a zillion times, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, because it's you that keeps me going, and without y'all, I definitely wouldn't be here today. So thanks, and I'm sending y'all all my love.